All rise. Veuillez vous lever. Please be seated. Veuillez vous asseoir. We are in open session, Your Honors.
Thank you very much. Witness, welcome back. Before we proceed with the testimony, Mr. Steinberg, do you have any report for us, update on the inquiry you were supposed to make?
I do, Your Honour. However, if I'm to give a full report, may I request we briefly go into private session, as I will have to report on the availability and certain difficulties experienced by individual witnesses.
All right.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. I was looking at the witness being present.
I see.
Mrs.
Steinberg, the Salakendra is indicating the witnesses. You know what? Let's proceed with the witness, and let's come back to this towards the end of the day. We should try and reserve about 10 minutes to the end to take up the matter.
Very well, Your Honour.
But right now, on that matter, so the understanding, so we are all together on our understanding of the situation. The default position is that we will continue from the 20th of November with the two other witnesses and hopefully finish, well, not hopefully, the idea is to start, the default position is we start again on the 20th and complete the two witnesses before the winter recess. What we're now negotiating and what we're hoping to do is to be able to start on the 18th of November instead of the 20th. That is where we all are.
Your Honours, if I can maybe just briefly indicate the position without going into the details, we can fill in the details later. The position is the prosecution is prepared to commence on the 18th and carry on with two witnesses who have been previously informed that we would be proceeding with. Sorry, that wasn't very elegantly put. If we are to move to the 18th, it will mean changing different witnesses, and the defence have indicated some reservations about the witnesses we propose to call. So the bottom line is the defence can accommodate the prosecution can accommodate the defence as to the dates or as to the witnesses, but not both.
All right. So you have indicated the position, generally speaking. So we will take it up later then. All right. Even if we don't get to it today, we will do that first thing tomorrow morning. Yes. Mr. Keegan-Katwa, you're back.
Mr. President, with your leave, because of some other commitments I've got tomorrow, I wonder if we could squeeze in this issue today so it can be resolved today while I'm present.
All right, let's try.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Keegan-Katwa, we're in your hands. Hopefully you can finish quickly in good time to allow prosecution time for re-examination, and then we'll take up this matter. So, try.
Good afternoon, Mr. Witness.
Good afternoon.
We are in open session, you know.
Mr. President, for about 10 minutes, I'll ask to go to private session.
You want us to go into private session now and remain there for about 10 minutes?
Now for 10 minutes, Mr. President.
All right. We will then go into private session.
We are in open session, Your Honours. Also, Mr. KenyaMOJA, can we display this document to the public?
Yes, please. Now, Mr. Witness, I'll just ask the questions for the context for the public.
So we are now in the public session. Yes, I see that. And witness, we are in the public session. Mr. KenyaMOJA will proceed with care.
Yes, Mr. President. Mr. Witness, I have shown you the document at tab 22. You've seen that, Mr. Witness?
Yes, Your Honor.
And Mr. Witness, you recall having said that in your estimation the name Kiptindinyo is a pseudonym?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, Mr. Witness, I have shown you a Facebook extract of one Honorable Kiptindinyo Ruto. You can see that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Can you see that he is actually a member of County Assembly in the year 2013 to present?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Witness, you can see that where he comes from is indicated as Nandi Hills Town Council.
Yes, Your Honor.
You can also see that it is explained that he went to Moi University main campus.
Yes, Your Honor.
And you can see, Mr. Witness, that in fact at the right-hand bottom side that he actually went to a school called Chepkunyuk.
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, Mr. Witness, I want you to go to tab 22. Could you read out the names of the gentleman whose pseudonym you said is Kamili?
Kamili Ngetich.
And you can see the part written living. You can see that, Mr. Witness.
Yes, Your Honor.
Could you tell the court where he indicates us where he lives?
Kaptuma, Rift Valley.
Now, Mr. Witness, I will ask you again, are you surprised that in fact the persons you said were using pseudonyms may actually be having those names as their real names?
I'm surprised.
Now, Mr. Witness, in relation to something a little bit different from what I've just asked you, your recollection is that these people were people who called into the station using their phones, isn't it, Mr. Witness?
Using their phones?
Mr. Witness, these are people who are calling into the station.
Regular callers.
Mr. Witness, it is your knowledge that it is a requirement in Kenya that before anybody is given a mobile number, he has to be registered, isn't it?
Nowadays. But in the early years, it wasn't like that. But as time went by, registration became mandatory.
Mr. Witness, you recall that by the year 2007, there was a requirement for registration, do you?
I don't recall.
Lastly, on that issue, Mr. Witness, you will actually confirm that using somebody's mobile number, it is possible to trace their identity if it is registered, isn't it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Witness. I would like us to move to a different issue. Mr. President, I would like us to go to tab 29 of my bundle, and with the assistance of the court officer, if I could give the bundle to the witness. For the record, that is Ken OTP 0048 011.
Does it stop there at 011?
Mr. President, I want to specifically go to 118. Mr. Witness, if you could look at the pagination of that document you've just been given, you will see at the bottom writings to the effect that it is KEN 0 OTP 0048. You can see that, Mr. Witness.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Witness, if you could go to where the last digits are 118, please.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Witness, this is the BBC transcript of what was aired in KSFM as applied to the defense by the prosecution. And I would like you to confirm that what I'm reading is what is contained in italics in the first part of that transcript. That it states, Kenya vernacular radio vernacular radio presenter urges listeners not to join opposition protests. Can you see that, Mr. Witness?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Witness, it is followed by this. The entire 18th January breakfast show between 7 a.m. and 9 a.m. on vernacular KSFM station, which broadcast in Kalenjin, was dedicated to prayers and Bible reading, starting with Psalms 27. Can you see that?
Yes, yes.
Now, Mr. Witness, I want you to go to the fourth paragraph of that text, starting with the word second. I would like to read a statement. Can you see that, Mr. Witness?
Fourth.
Essentially, towards the second half of the second paragraph.
Have you found it, Mr. Witness?
I would like to ask.
It starts with the words. Second, I would like to read a statement. Can you see that, Mr. Witness?
Yes, I've seen it.
Mr. Witness, I want you to confirm if what I'm reading is what is stated there to this effect. Second, I would like to read a statement sent by the police.
Mr. Kagan, that was slowed down.
I will, Mr. President, and I apologize for that.
I know sometimes, when we speak so slowly, it looks as if we are speech impaired. We're not. It's just we have to do it for the transcript and the interpreters.
Okay, Mr. Witness, I'll start. Second, I would like to read a statement sent by the police spokesman, Mr. Giraide. Such incidences leave me at a loss for words. I implore you, Kalenjin people, to pray. If you are going to work or to the farm or going about your usual duties, you may go. However, if you do not need to be anywhere, please stay at home. Although in the past, since you voted, you have been told to come out, today, I implore you to stay and take time to pray and surrender to God. Pray according to prompting of your heart. Can you see that, Mr. Witness?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, Mr. Witness, you already told us in the past that the ODM leadership had called out people to come out and protest. You recall that?
I remember.
Mr. Witness, you will confirm from this transcript supplied by BBC that in fact Mr. Sang on 18th of January 2008 was asking people not to go out but rather stay at home.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Witness. Now, Mr. Witness, I would like you to then turn over to page 145 in the last digits. For the record, that is Ken OTP 0048 0145. Mr. Witness, are you there?
145?
Yes.
Yes.
Mr. Witness, you can see the writings in bold at almost the last part of the page. Kenya vernacular discusses travel bans slapped on people behind violence. You can see that.
Kenya. Yes. Kasafam.
Yes, I want to read the next part and just want you to confirm for the court the date. Could you confirm this is what it says? Kass FM, which broadcasts in Kalenjin vernacular, on 7th of February asked its listeners to express their views about the decision by United States and other Western states to slap a travel ban on people investigated and found to have been involved in one way or another in inciting the post-election violence. You can see that, Mr. Witness.
Yes.
Mr. Witness, I want you to go to the last two lines at the bottom of that page. Can you see it starts with the word sang? Today I would like. Can you see that, Mr. Witness?
Yes.
Mr. Witness, I want you to confirm this is what BBC says Mr. Sang said in that broadcast. Today, I would like to talk about what the U.S. Ambassador, Michael Ranneberger, said yesterday.
No, it says, I would like us to.
Today, I would like us to talk about what the U.S. Ambassador, Michael Ranneberger, said yesterday, that they are investigating people suspected of contributing in one way or another to the disturbance that rocked the country. Right now, around 1,000 people have died and almost 500,000 have been displaced. Property has been destroyed, lives have been disrupted, and homes have been broken along tribal lines. Therefore, the U.S. doesn't see why these people should Therefore, the U.S. doesn't see why these people should be allowed to travel there if indeed they were involved in the violence. Therefore, they are carrying out investigations and have mentioned that there are 10 people, although the names were not mentioned. Canada has also indicated that they are considering taking the same line of action. Do you support this? Should it be only the United States or even other African states? If it is true that they have caused this trouble in Kenya, should they go somewhere else? We have been robbed through Goldenberg, Anglo-leasing, and other ways by rich people who travel in aeroplanes like it was a border. And into brackets, bicycles and motorcycles, taxis used in some parts of Kenya. They don't care because they can afford to pay to run away to another place from their own pockets or from those of Kenyans. As Kenyans, we should ask, should someone who has stirred up trouble be able to flee and relax with his wealth and properties outside? So as America has indicated, there are 10 people and 30 others being investigated. These are big people, not the common people who live up country and who may not even know what a visa is. They are leaders and others from all sides. What is your say? Do you support the steps America has taken? And should all the other countries take the same steps, including African countries? Mr. Witness, you can see that.
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, Mr. Witness, did you hear Mr. Sang make that broadcast by any chance?
I can recall.
Now, Mr. Witness, I would like you to go to page 149 of the same text, of the same...
Before you do, you see at the end of what you've read out, Mr. Kigan Katwa, those two words, quote, full support, unquote. What is that? Do you know? If you don't, maybe later on we can return to it.
Mr. President, first of all, I do not know. But I have read through the whole transcript from BBC, and I would say where they thought it was most important, they quoted verbatim, they otherwise summarized other parts. My supposition is that this full support could be callers in who are in full support, but I can't say it's a fact.
You don't know. You're just guessing.
I don't know. Yes.
All right.
Mr. Witness, are you at page 149? Mr. Witness, that would be Ken OTP 0048 0149.
Yes.
Now, Mr. Witness, I want you to look at the second last paragraph in that page. You can see that. Starting with the words, make names of those banned public.
Yes.
Now, Mr. Witness, I want to read the following paragraph, and I want you to confirm if what I have said is correct. Sang, we have many SMS and emails. People need to know how the names of these people to be barred from travel were arrived at. It is not about hearsay. They cannot just say, Arab Sang is included, or so-and-so is included. It should be investigated until the truth is established so we know exactly what they did. There are those who are said to have started the violence. Others are said to have militias in the forest. We need to know which forest, how many militias, who trained them. We need facts and the truth. There are people who have been very loud against others, and they may be targeted. They may say that they were here. They organized things this way, gave out this amount of money, and we want the truth to come out. If it is found out that they did what they are accused of, we shall not defend them because they are from our community. But we want facts, not to target someone just because he's influential. Another thing people understand is that this investigation is in every part of the country. You know, Red Cross people are everywhere. Human rights people have also visited parts of the country, including those led by Kiai, into brackets, the chairman of the state-sponsored Kenya National Commission on Human Rights, Minor Kiai. even though they were chased from some parts of the country and branded traitors. These are investigations. There are also investigators from abroad. But what is important is that you, as Kenyan, tell the truth. And when you are asked to, do not keep quiet. Do not say, we don't know. No one will arrest you. What you need to know is that if you are asked how many of your houses were burned, be honest. Others are speaking out as if they are the only ones adversely affected by this problem. If your house was burned, say it. Go to the DC's, into brackets, District Commissioner office, where you will be given a form to fill. Because when the government starts giving out compensation money, you should benefit if your property was destroyed. The compensation money is a lot, some given by foreign countries. So do not say you do not want money from this government. Fill the form. Anyone whose house was burned or cow killed or bicycle destroyed. When asked, do not be foolish and keep quiet, thinking you will be arrested. Do not bury your people just like that. Report it. Let us not just call and say we support America. Let those people be denied travel, and then when the list of 10 comes out, 8 are from your community. We do not want to shield our people who may have been involved in the violence. But what is important is that you do not keep quiet and not give out facts of what happened. If asked, say for example, this particular minister was involved. People were transported in a lorry. We have the facts. We took a photo of the lorry. It came from this place. It belongs to so and so. It belongs to so and so. And those people transported burned houses or whatever they may have done. Do you hear? Write the names of all the people killed, those slashed with machetes, those shot, houses burned. Write them down and document everything that happened in every village. When they arrive, give out those facts, saying in this village we have buried 20 people who were shot, hacked, and burned. Keep records. Who did this? So and so. Which leaders incited it? So and so. Where did the fighting start? Do not lie about anyone, even though you are pressed. Stand for the truth. Can you see that, Mr. Witness?
Yes.
Now, Mr. Witness, you've seen where I have stopped what I've just read out for you, isn't it? I want you to look at the paragraph immediately above it. You can see the paragraph starting with the words, let us not just call and say we support America.
Yes.
I want you to look at the last 2 lines, Mr. Witness, and confirm that the last 2 lines says this. We have the facts. We took a photo of a lorry. It came from this place. It belongs to so and so. And those people transported burned houses or whatever they may have done. Do you hear? Can you see that, Mr. Witness?
Yes. Do you hear?
Yes. Now, Mr. Witness, you can see what Mr. Sang asked, that what you witnessed, you could possibly take a photo. You can see that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Witness, you confirm that in none of the things you have testified about, you took a photo or any record of any of the things you said.
I'm going to object, Your Honor. Actually, Your Honor, just this whole method of questioning the witness on this subject, to me, appears inappropriate. I don't think this is the appropriate witness for this. We're actually asking a witness who is unconnected with these documents to just simply confirm if whether what is written there is accurate or not. And we can all see what's written on these pages. These are BBC reports. They're monitoring reports, not from the prosecution. They're not our translation or transcript. The witness can aid the chamber if it's a question of listening to audio and identifying the person who's speaking if it would be Sang. But in this case, I'm not sure why we're asking the witness to comment on a report made from BBC. We can all see plainly what's written on this report, and we can go on for hours on this exercise. There's another more appropriate way I would suggest to try and get these reports in would be maybe through a bar table motion, if necessary, on the defense. But I would submit to you that this is not the appropriate witness for this type of evidence. The witness can't comment on these reports, and he can't help the court in any which way in regards to these monitoring reports. Those are my submissions, Your Honor.
Mr. Keegan-Katwa, your question to the witness, lest we forget, was this question to the effect, you did not take photos or record of anything, consistent with Sang's advice. That was the essence of your question. Prosecution has objected, and his objection went beyond that. First, we deal with the objection as to your question.
Mr. President, my understanding is that they objected but did not give any reason why the question should not be asked. And Mr. President, my question is not necessarily hinged on the fact that Mr. Sang either said or advised that it be done. I'm asking just as a statement of fact that the witness confirms that none of the material he has come to testify on are a product of anything he did, either in terms of capturing in a photo or in capturing in any form of record, Mr. President.
The difficulty with that, of course, is that did we have to read this passage for you to ask the witness that question?
That was not the only question I was going to ask on this passage, Mr. President.
Fair enough. Do you have another question? Because that question is overruled. The objection is sustained only as to the propriety of that particular question of this witness as a question inspired by the text you've read out of what Mr. Sang supposedly said. The prosecution's larger objection is something else that we can take up another time when the time comes.
I'm obliged, Mr. President. Mr. Witness, you already confirmed that in fact this is a broadcast. You've seen that the date BBC maintained as the date of the broadcast is the 7th of February 2008, Mr. Witness. You recall that from page 145.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Witness, I will ask you 3 questions in relation to that item. The first one, Mr. Witness, is you realize Mr. Sang is asking that everybody comes out and says the truth of what they know about the post-election violence, isn't it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Witness, you also confirm from that text that Mr. Sang is saying the community will not protect anybody who is mentioned to have, who is found to have been involved in the post-election violence.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Keegan-Katwa, then your question to the witness is what? Apart from simply confirming what the text says, which the prosecution's observations earlier is, we can all read what the text says. If you're going to confirm what the text says as a foundation to launching another question to the witness, it's one thing. But to have the witness simply say, this is what the text said, isn't it? Where does that leave us? When you could simply admit with the prosecution that, yes, this document may come in and we can debate the significance of it. at the end of the day.
Now, Mr. Witness, you recall the audio that I've kept on referring you to, that the prosecution asked you to listen to and make comments on. You recall that, Mr. Witness?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Witness, you recall that in the course of adducing evidence in relation to that item, you were asked as to whether or not Mr. Sang had asked people to be careful with what they say.
Yes, Your Honor.
Based on that, Mr. Witness, you will confirm from this part, the transcript I've just read to you, that Mr. Sang is urging that the truth be spoken, isn't it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. President, I'm happy enough to leave my question on that part of the transcript there.
It's up to you if you've exhausted what you need to do with it, so we can move on.
Yes, Mr. President, I have exhausted. I only wish to make reference to one other transcript. And that is at page 219 of the same document, Mr. President. Mr. Witness, if you could look at Ken OTP 00480219.
True?
219, Mr. Witness.
Yes, there.
Now, Mr. Witness, I want us to move on to page 220, the next page. You can see that, Mr. Witness, starting with Kenyan radio presenter named by ICC urges audience to stay calm. Can you see that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, Mr. Witness, I want you to, you can see where the transcript starts with Kass FM presenter Joshua Arap Sang, who is among the 6 suspects named by ICC prosecutor. You can see that, Mr. Witness?
Yes.
Now, I want to read a part of that transcript, a very brief one, and then I'll ask you two or three questions, then we're done. Kass presenter Mr. Joshua Arap Sang, who is among the 6 suspects named by ICC prosecutor Luis Moreno Ocampo, came on air with a lawyer, Mr. Bosek, and addressed the listeners. He began by reading out the names of the 6 suspects, which included 2 other members of the Kalenjin community, Industrialization Minister Henry Koskei and William Ruto, a former minister. Joshua Sang, I am surprised as you, the Kalenjin, into brackets community, are. But we have always said that we want the truth to be revealed concerning what happened in 2008. Therefore, one of the ways that Kenya had agreed to was the Hague option. The names have come out today, and I am among them. I would like to tell our listeners that I am here. Some have called me wanting to talk, some crying, but I am fine. Do not be shocked, because we had always said that the truth cannot be buried, as it will sprout. God is great because he works in many ways. I know this because I have faith in him, and he does not sleep. Jehovah is with those who are for the truth. The names are out, and Mr. Ruto and Mr. Koskei and myself are there. Out of the 6 people, there are three are from our tribe. Do not be troubled, as Jesus also said, he will come and prepare a place, then return. Likewise, do not be troubled about going to the Hague. I am ready. You can see that, Mr. Witness.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Witness, you can see that Mr. Sang has faith that the truth will come out. You can see that from that text.
Yes, Your Honor.
You will also see that he addresses himself to the Kalenjin and tells them that they shouldn't be troubled, isn't it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Witness, you had earlier said that Mr. Sang called for people to come out to demonstrate. Did you say that?
Yes, Your Honor. Announcement.
He made announcements that people should come out to demonstrate. Is that what you're saying?
Announcement to the effect that people have shown resentment in some places.
Resentment toward Mr. Witness?
Stolen election.
Okay, Mr. Witness. My question is a bit more straight. You recall having said that Mr. Sang had asked people to come out and demonstrate. Do you recall saying that?
Yes, I recall.
Mr. Witness, you can see from this that he's asking the Kalenjin people to remain calm. Can you see that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, in respect to your contention that Mr. Sang called people to come out and demonstrate, are you in a position to tell us on a broadcast of which day was it that Mr. Sang said, please come out and demonstrate?
Can't remember.
Mr. President, that's all in respect to this document, and it was already produced as an exhibit. That's all I wish to say on this issue. I would like to go to the last two documents that I wish to rely on, Mr. President. Mr. President, I have reference to tab 2, tab 2 count 3, and tab 3 count 4, but I'll make specific reference to tab 2 count 3. And for the record, the audio I wish to make reference to is Ken D11 0006 0023. That's the audio. And the transcript together with the translation is Ken D11 0008 0001.
We go to private session.
We're in open session, Your Honors.
Thank you. Please proceed, Mr. Counsel.
Now, Mr. Witness, you will confirm that what you heard is to this effect. Only one thing. Keep maintaining peace, maintain peace. Do not be too angry. Why do you fret, and yet you know that someone has to win this leg? One person has to win, and the announcement will be made stating who has won, and whoever wins will be the valid winner. Except, I know how people's hearts operate. Jehovah too, don't imagine that he does not. He does. You've seen that, Mr. Witness.
That is paragraph.
Mr. Witness, that is the third last paragraph which we have gone through a moment ago.
Great, great. Yes.
Mr. Witness, that is a fair reflection of what you know Mr. Sang to have heard from what you've just gone through, isn't it?
To have had, yes.
Now, Mr. Witness, I will take you back to your testimony. The first thing is that you had said in your testimony that Mr. Sang had asked people to go for demonstration, isn't it?
To the best of my knowledge and what I think I remembered.
From your recollection. Now, Mr. Witness, you also said the nature of the demonstration at that time were that they were not peaceful, isn't it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Witness, you've already confirmed that the voice that you heard a moment ago is the voice of one of the accused persons in this case, isn't it?
Yes, but again, I've got an issue. It is his voice.
Okay, could we
But the tone of the voice.
Mr. Witness, do you want to say, okay, could you explain?
It is Sang's voice, and the tone is that of an aggrieved person. It's not the tone that of a happy person, you know.
So your concern is that Mr. Sang, it is Mr. Sang's voice, no doubt, but it would seem like he's aggrieved.
Definitely.
Would it also mean that he's tired, Mr. Witness?
He is tired?
Yes, Mr. Witness.
It doesn't appear. A tired person will not speak strongly.
Okay, anyway, Mr. Witness, so you understand, your impression is that he is an angry person, isn't it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Witness, against the background of your testimony that Mr. Sang called for people to come out and that those demonstrations were violent, can you confirm that you have heard him speaking here and asking people very directly to maintain peace?
Of course, he's not called for violence.
Mr. Witness, if you don't mind, just answer my question directly. Mr. Sang has very directly called for people to maintain peace, isn't it?
1 second, Your Honor.
I've captured it.
The witness was about to explain or elaborate on his answer when he was cut off.
Okay, please just explain what you wanted to explain, Mr. Witness.
What was your question?
My question, Mr. Witness, is that from what we've just gone through and what I've just read out to you, Mr. Sang very directly and specifically asks people to maintain peace. Isn't it, Mr. Witness?
Yes, yes.
Mr. Witness, you will also notice that Mr. Sang acknowledges that only one person can be elected the president, isn't it?
That is where I had concern, that I had an important person is the one to win.
Okay. Your concern is that it was said that an important person would win.
Yeah.
But my question remains.
Why do you fret and you know that someone important has to win? Something like that. It has a meaning to somebody who is listening superficially. He will think that Mr. Sang has said somebody who is going to win is an important person, you know. Yes, someone you know.
Witness, did you hear the use equivalent to one person in the audio you just listened to? Mr. Witness, do you want the audio played again? And the issue I want you to
that
confirm.
part actually.
Yes.
Because I want to be quite clear. Okay. Is that a Swahili word?
All right, let's do this. Let's go into private session for a minute or two. How long is that? And then he can listen to the audio again, and then we come out and you ask a question.
Barely 2 minutes, Mr. President.
Right, then let's go into private session to listen to that. 2 minutes, you say, and then we come out.
We are in open session, Your Honors.
Thank you.
Now, Mr. Witness, I would like you to confirm also that from the first part of what we covered at page 13, if you could go to page 13, Mr. Witness. Mr. Witness, you are in page 13, isn't it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, you already confirmed that you heard the voice of Mr. Sang uttering the words that we are referring to at the second last paragraph at page 13, isn't it? And Mr. Witness, feel free to mark the text you're using so that it's easy for you to refer to.
Counsel, we are at the text that says, let us leave it to the politicians.
Exactly, Mr. President.
All right.
Yes, thank you.
Yes.
Now, Mr. Witness, you will confirm that Mr. Sang has pleaded with the people of Kalenjin to leave the issues of the fourth tallying and announcement of the results to the politicians, isn't it?
Yes, Your Honor.
In the same paragraph, he has very specifically said, don't engage in violence, as others would take advantage to engage in unruly activities. You can see that, Mr. Witness.
Yes.
Now, Mr. Witness.
Page 13. Are you still in page 13?
Yes, I'm still in page 13, Mr. Witness. If you look at the paragraph I've just read out to you, you will see the third last line of that same paragraph, and I've read it verbatim. Don't engage in violence, as others would take advantage to engage in unruly activities. You can see that, Mr. Witness.
Yes.
Now, Mr. Witness, I want you to move to page 14, and I want you to confirm a couple of things at page 14. Mr. Witness, I want you to look at the second paragraph, the fourth last line, starting with, you have been with your neighbors. Can you see that, Mr. Witness? Or Mr. Witness, let me just...
Yes, you've been.
Do you confirm that Mr. Sang is asking that is telling the Kalenjin people, you have been with your neighbors all along? Even if they voted for a person you did not want, leave them alone. Still, we live in Kenya, and each one is looking out for their property. You can see that.
Yes.
Mr. Sang, Mr. Witness, you will confirm that Mr. Sang is asking the Kalenjin people to disregard the political lines and the voting patterns of the people and keep peace for the welfare of the country.
Yes.
To the council, the text says, we all live in Kenya. You've read that thing twice, and each time you've said, we live in Kenya. Maybe some people might think there's a difference in the nuance. Doesn't matter, but the witness has answered your question.
I see, Mr. President. I apologize for that oversight.
It's your case. Don't apologize to me.
Lastly, Mr. Witness, on that issue, I want you to look at the second line starting, if there are any issues. Can you see that, Mr. Witness? That same page 14, Mr. Witness, the same paragraph I've just taken you to.
Paragraph?
Paragraph 2. starting with the words people at the grassroots.
Okay, people at the grassroots, yes. People at the grassroots.
Reading from that paragraph, Mr. Witness, and you look at it, could you confirm that Mr. Sang is telling the Kalenjin community that if there are any issues that need to be resolved, they will be resolved from the above?
Yes.
He also says that if there are any issues, the people at home are not responsible.
Yes.
I want us to go to the last audio in respect to this issue, then I close my cross-examination on this matter, Mr. Witness. And I would like to go to timestamp 33.19.
Mr. Kigen-Katwa, you see what time it is, and you had promised to finish today, and there is an issue we want to take up.
Mr. President, I am alive to that. Of course, quite a bit of my time was taken away by various issues. But Mr. President, if you give me another, say, 10 minutes, I should be done.
Your time was not taken away by anything untoward. That needs to be said on the record. But proceed, try and wrap it up in 10 minutes, hopefully less.
Mr. President, I wish to play an audio of timestamp 33.19 to 33.45, and then I'm done.
Let's go to private session then.
We're in open session, Your Honors.
Thank you very much. Mr. Keegan-Katwa has completed his cross-examination of the witness, and the prosecutor has no question and re-examination, so we will be discharging the witness. I was beginning to thank him in private session, to say that it is not an easy experience for many people to come and sit there day in, day out, being asked questions by lawyers, but it's all for a good cause, and we appreciate the fact that you came to assist in our search for the truth. You've done your job for now, so what's left is for us to evaluate the merits of what you've said against the other evidence we'll hear in the case. Thank you for coming.
It's my pleasure, Your Honor.
We will now bring down the blinds and let out the witness.